Hello,
Cool.
everybody. Papa B here with Applejax D&D podcast. Thank you. If you're going to listen to us, please hit the like button. Give us your comments. If you like it, if you don't like it, we don't care. It's your First Amendment right. It's free speech. We all know the Democrats will call names and call us stupid, call us ignorant, make fun of what we look like. That's all they can do is make fun of people because they're stupid. Oh, and one other thing I just wanted to mention I really thought of this morning, which I thought was kind of pretty cool. You know how Webster's probably got 100 volumes of the definition of stupid?
Like a
They can
hundred different
definitions of
definitions for
stupid.
stupid.
Yeah, they can condense it down to one book because after the word stupid, they can put Democrats,
I saw that
commurats,
coming.
libtards, wokeism, all they can put all that crap and condense it down to one volume, and that way you wouldn't have to waste all the paper and cut down all the trees.
That's so
Yeah,
funny. I mean, it says that it is lacking of intelligence, common sense, and quickness of mind. And I can say, talking to a lot of extreme leftists, they are very quick to just start screaming at you as soon as they don't agree with something you're saying.
as soon as you tell the
Yeah,
truth or hit something
it's not even
that
about telling like the truth. It's just as soon as you start telling your opinion and they don't like something you say, they
they
just
start screaming
go off and start screaming at you. And
because yeah,
you can't talk about it because then they just start screaming and you get called names and
because they can't handle the facts. You
yeah.
got facts. You got facts, and when you ask them a question, oh, you can go Google it. No, give me something. You're so proud of what you believe. Give me a
Right.
give me a fact of why you believe that.
Exactly. That's
So
why
they're
I like
just
to put the facts here when we talk about it. I'll tell you in the podcast, hey, go Google it. But post editing, I'm always trying to put as many facts as I can relating to what we're talking about. And you know what's crazy is that Papa B and I, even if we're wrong in the editing, I'll go back and fact check us. If I'm wrong, I'll fact check myself. If Papa B's wrong, I'll fact check him. And I like to put little visuals of D20s because if we do end up being wrong, it's fun to say that we had a intelligence check of 1 as a
yeah.
critical failure. But there, like the last podcast, you had a moment where you were talking about hummingbirds and you had very much a nature check, and I put critical success
Well,
because you
and
know so much about hummingbirds.
I'm glad you bring that up because I just want to say this one. I know I mentioned it actually. I think on the first or second podcast. People complain about ants on their hummingbird feeders. Guys, it's a no-brainer. Go to your go to Home Depot and get you some ant bait and throw it down on the ground, or get an exterminator to come out and treat your yard with ant bait. Your ants will go away. You don't have to buy a moat. You don't have to.
Exactly.
The ants are gonna find the sugar water. I don't care if you build a castle on top of that freaking hummingbird feeder. They're gonna find the
Yes,
sweet
they
the
are.
sugar water. So treat your yard. That's all you got to do. The ants are gone. Problem solved.
Yep. And it's usually
Anyway,
just a matter of putting it around the border.
yes,
Like
yes, you
that's
can put
it.
it on the ground. It's not going to hurt the
Hmm.
birds. It's not going to hurt the lizards. It's not going to hurt the frogs. It's not going to hurt anything because if you get the right bait, it's 90% protein. It's
Exactly. I
not going to.
do. No, go ahead. 90%
No,
protein.
it's not going to hurt your it's not going to
Right.
hurt the ecosystem.
Something else I want to add to that is depending on the region you live in, you may have to add more in some regions than others or apply it more often.
Yeah, because
So,
here in Texas we have ant bait that you can buy. You can go on Amazon and buy ant bait and put it on the ground and it will solve all your problems. And you
mhm,
could probably do it once every 30 days, once every 3 months, depending on if you get the fire ants pop up. Just because it's fire ants, it kills fire ants, but it kills the other ants as well. So,
sure.
with that being
Cool.
said, let's I just wanted to put that out there because I
Cool.
see a lot of texts about people
Yeah.
don't know how to get rid of the ants, and that's how you because they come from the ground. They don't come from the sky. They come from the ground. So treat your yard, the ants will go away.
Wisdom from Papa B.
Yeah,
But
because I terminated for 25 plus years and getting rid of fire ants. All my customers that had fire ants, they never had fire ants because I treated it. They never had
perfect.
not one customer in 25 years, maybe a handful, had a fire ant mound pop up, and that's just the way it is. Okay, let's get back
Awesome.
to where we before we started. All right, trivia
Yeah.
questions.
Yes. Last week's trivia question, you asked what quote this movie was from, and you said regulators mount up.
Yeah,
So I know exactly what that's from. Uh, but you can tell everyone if you want.
it is from Young Guns,
Yep.
Billy the Kid. And I want to reiterate, and there's a couple of opinions out there how Billy the Kid died. Okay.
Yeah, there is.
Well, there's a lot of opinions, but there's two ways. Okay. I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm going to
Ooh,
explain
I love
why I
that.
give you my opinion. Pat Garrett did not shoot Billy the Kid.
You don't think
Okay.
so?
No, that's what I'm going to say. That's what 75% of the people believe, that Pat Garrett shot Billy the Kid, but he
You
didn't.
think you just let him go?
I exactly, because this is what it was.
They
Okay,
were
Pat Garrett,
friends, weren't they?
they ran together. They ran together as outlaws.
Exactly.
Pat Garrett found out that Billy the Kid was held up in his girlfriend's house. He got together a posse. Okay, he went to the house and broke the door down, and the girlfriend and Billy Kid got away through the back. The girlfriend's brother stepped up, and Pat Garrett shot him. Well, being that the posse that he got together has never seen Billy the Kid,
That's
he
why he
told
said
them
Billy the
that
Kid
was
was
Billy the
dead.
Kid. They ran together for years and years and years, and Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid were best friends. Billy the Kid, in my opinion, and this kind of makes sense to me, died of a heart attack walking down the street at 95 years old in Hyco, Texas.
Okay. I firmly
He
believe
did. He
that that
never
could be
had any.
true.
Yeah, he never had any children. Never got married,
I thought he did
and
have
no,
kids. I thought he
he
had
never.
one.
No, never had any kids.
Okay.
Never had any. Yeah, I may be wrong. You can fact check it on me if you want to on the
I
next
have to look it
podcast.
up.
That's fine. And on
So
the
the
next podcast,
show,
you can correct me.
if you have MGM Plus,
Young
the
Guns.
well, right. So they have Young Guns, right?
Hmm.
Billy the Kid stories. I grew up on that with you, which is why I love Western stuff. We grew up watching a lot of those together. They have a new show recently made on MGM Plus called Billy the Kid, and
Hmm.
the acting is absolutely amazing. And they do portray it as Patrick Garrett shooting Billy the Kid, but then he lies, says he's dead. Billy the Kid comes back and continues living his life or whatever because everyone thinks that he's dead. But in their version, he has a kid. His girlfriend
Yeah,
is pregnant.
yeah.
And
I've
so
watched it.
I just wonder how true that is. I would like to look that up
Well,
some more
I'm
and
gonna say I've
figure that
watched. I
out.
actually watched the first. There's one and two. I watched the first one, and the characters that are portrayed are actually some of the characters that were in Young Guns portrayed as those characters. Not the same actors, but the
Yeah,
characters like Charlie and um, the Indian. I'm brain farting, but anyway,
I'm really bad at names. I
it was
just literally just know
portrayed
Billy the Kid
as
and
those
Patrick Garrett.
same people
Jesse
that
James.
ran with Billy the Kid. So, it's, and they've also got another one on there. I believe it's on Netflix or maybe Paramount Plus or HBO Max. I don't know, called Old Henry.
Old Henry.
And to me, and it portrays Billy the Kid, but it portrays Billy the Kid. He takes in a guy that's been hung but didn't die or whatever, and he nurtures him back to health and everything, and the guy ends up killing him. Okay, in the end,
Interesting.
and before the guy kills him, he goes, "You're him, aren't you?" And he goes, "Who?" He goes, "You're Billy the Kid." And then he
Hmm.
kills him. Then he kills him. So it there's
Interesting.
that's not the way Billy the Kid died, but it is a good show. It is a good movie because it portrays something that actually might have happened. I don't know. And then again,
Yeah.
it portrays the kid in the show might be his son. Okay.
That's what I'm
So
wondering is like if he did have a kid, then that means Billy the Kid has descendants. And I would love to
Exactly.
explore that. But at the same time, it is important to realize that shows and movies and productions have creative freedoms to
Sure.
add what they want to the show. So yeah, now I really want to go like deep searching into that.
Yeah,
Go to like page 20 of Google to figure out the real information.
and I do want to say this. These movies that we're watching, okay, there is a key phrase in there because a lot of people say, "Oh, that's not what happened," and I did my research. I didn't see that. Okay, for all you idiots that can't understand this, it's based on a true story. They're
Based.
making a movie
Based.
based on a true story. They're making a movie. They want you to watch the movie, so they're going to add extra stuff that probably didn't happen.
A
Okay?
perfect example is The Conjuring and the Annabelle movies, because those are all based on real events, real ghost stories, and they embellish stuff
Yeah.
100%.
Just
It's not,
like the movies Paranormal.
yes,
I mean, it's based on a true story. Okay?
exactly.
So all you idiots that come in there and criticize it and say, "Well, that ain't where it happened," it's based on a true story, you moron. So
Based.
that's pretty much all I'm going to say about
That's
that.
the
I'm
key
gonna,
word. I mean, it's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
I think it's important, and that goes back to something we've said many times on this podcast is to do your research.
yeah,
And many people do say that, but it is important that if you're talking to someone, we have the power of the internet at our hands.
exactly.
So it's okay if you don't have your source right away because you have a phone, you have the internet, and you can go find your source, but stop yelling at each other. Like, just stop yelling at each other, man.
Yeah,
It's
just discuss it. Hey, this is my opinion. Okay. You know
right.
what? If you have an opinion, that means you're using the ability that God gave you to think.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
think. God gave you the ability to think. And for those of you morons that have to get all your thoughts and everything from the mainstream media, you're 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 mentally incompetent. That's it.
Yep.
You have no
Regardless of what side you're on,
exactly. Exactly.
if
It
you're
doesn't
only
really
listening to
matter.
that one source and you believe everything that one source tells you, um, that's actually leads into something that you and I were talking about earlier before the podcast, which was why some of the networks did not air Donald Trump's speech. And before we go on a rant about it, hold on.
We're
Before we
not
go on
done.
a,
We're not done with the trivia questions yet. Go ahead.
oh, that's right, we're not. Dang.
Now we're going to do the trivia questions first. I understand because I do have something to say about
We
that.
just started
Okay,
ranting,
I
yeah.
do have something to say about that. So, where
Anyway,
was I?
so
Shit,
new
I
trivia
brain.
questions.
Okay, new trivia questions. That's what we want to say. Okay, mine's pretty simple, and it's for my age group, the baby boomers is who it's for.
Okay.
On the old Fantasy Island show, what was the little midget's name that went up in the tower, rang the bell, and said, "The plane, the plane"? What was his name in the
I have
show?
no idea.
What was his name?
I feel
So
like that's a
that's
famous meme now, which is funny to me.
anyway. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, but that's my trivia question. I just
Okay.
kept it pretty simple this time.
Love it. I
So
have a trivia question also. So we're gonna do two trivia questions this time. Uh, my trivia question is more for my millennial nerds. I love tabletop RPGs, and tabletop RPGs originated um, from something very specific called war games. So my question is, when did tabletop war games originate? Before it became Dungeons and Dragons, before it became any LARPing adventures that we have today. What was table? I don't like any of that. I'm gonna edit all that out.
you might get an answer on that from a baby boomer.
Yeah, because they may know too. If you Uh, that's true. Like Gen X and baby boomers may definitely know the answer to that. So tabletop war games, when did they originate? When and where did they originate? Yeah. Yep. I will try to edit that because that was a whole mess of words.
No, and it's just a podcast. You don't have to edit it. I mean, we're just talking. No, it ain't no big deal.
Okay.
I wouldn't edit it out,
Okay. I'll keep it.
not a
Okay.
bit. But you're
Okay.
likely to get an answer from a baby boomer on that because I know Dungeons and Dragons been around for a long time,
Yeah,
long time.
it
And
has.
to be honest with you, I wish I would have kind of got into it when I was young. I thought it would have been kind of cool.
It is. And it's a great way to just um escape from reality,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with having an imagination, and you can literally be anything you want, make your own story.
yeah.
So
You can.
it, especially when you're with friends, you get to make that story together. It's great. I love
Yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah.
So
I've seen it portrayed on TV in a sitcom show, and I thought it was just kind of cool. Kind of thought I was like, why didn't I get into that when I was younger? But I
well, in
don't.
the 1980s, you've told me before that in the 1980s, they kind of saw it more as something that might be like
Demonic.
satanic,
They
even
saw it
though it's
as
not.
demonic and
Yeah,
satanic. Yes, they
they didn't really
did. And
understand what it
no,
was at
no, I
all.
agree. I agree. And that's kind of sad, but that's old school. That's baby boomers.
It
But
is,
then again, you might get that answer from a
yeah.
baby boomer.
And I just think that like millennials, because we grew up with all the video games changing, we went from having no technology to growing up with every level of technology.
Exactly.
So that's why I think the millennials, it's a pretty nerdy question. It
That's
is.
okay. That's okay. I mean, you're a nerd,
When did
so you,
tabletop war games originate?
you're a nerd. I'm a redneck. So but
Does that
yeah,
mean I'm
that's that
subclassing and like, does that mean I'm a redneck
redneck nerd.
too? Yeah,
You're a
like
redneck nerd.
double class. Yeah,
Yeah, you're a
redneck
redneck
nerd.
nerd. No doubt
I love
about it.
that.
Yeah, I thought that. Well, I think that's pretty cool, redneck nerd. So, who won the World Cup?
Man, I don't know. I
Look it
don't
up.
watch football, but I'll look it up.
It's today. Nobody's won it. It's today.
Well, but by the time we publish this, it'll already be.
Yeah, I was just informed.
I'll put the answer.
Yeah,
I'll put the answer right here because it's going to get published, so we'll know by then.
yeah. My
Hmm.
other fact checker just informed me.
But who's playing?
Not the
I don't
USA.
know any. No, no, not the US, and not Norway. No
No,
Holland. Have you heard about Holland? Let's talk about Holland. Okay.
I heard some
Yeah.
controversy, but I didn't dig into that. I don't know what it was
Oh, I
all
don't care
about.
about the controversy. I'm just talking about the memes and the reels. They are the greatest thing out there. There's a song that they made about him that's on like every reel that has him in it.
What, the
And
soccer player?
yeah. And if you watch those, the moves that he does on the soccer field to make those goals is insane. But the best part to me are the facial expressions. Is you can tell how much fun he is having while playing, without a care in the world. And I absolutely love that. So it's a fun trend that's been going on. Holland.
Well, just like any other professional sport, they're getting paid to play a backyard kids game, and they're getting paid for it, and
Yeah,
they're enjoying it.
it's great.
They're enjoying
That's
it.
so awesome.
Look at Jose
Spain and
Altuve.
Argentina are playing the
Yeah,
World Cup. That,
look at
that checks out. That-
look
Yeah,
at Jose Altuve for the Astros. That kid's
I
five
have
foot
no idea who that
six,
is.
5'7", and he defies all the all the common rules of Major League Baseball. He's not supposed to be able to fly on planes without jet lag because he's too small. Because if you look, most of your Major League Baseball players are going to be 6 foot and up.
Really?
And
No, I wouldn't have
oh
known that.
yeah, oh yeah, and because of the jet lag when they fly is one of the reasons why you don't see a whole lot of short baseball players.
That
And
why
Jose Altuve,
airplanes? make
Jose
me feel like
Altuve,
crap.
yeah, Jose
I'm
Altuve
5'4".
defies every bit of that logic. That
Well,
is, to
good for
me,
him.
he is one of the best baseball players I've ever seen in my life, ever. And
What's his name?
and
Let me write it down.
Jose Altuve,
Okay, cool.
yeah, one of the
I
best
will.
baseball players I've ever seen in my entire life.
You love
And
baseball. You played baseball like most of your life, right, Papa
I
B?
played I played a lot of baseball.
That
Yes,
that is technically a life experience, is it not? Is that a good life
it
experience
is.
to talk
It
about?
is. It is. Um, I was in high school. I was a pitcher and a third baseman. Um, I threw the ball hard. I'm gonna say 85, 90 miles an hour was my fastball. Okay, I had junk too, but my philosophy was they can't hit what they can't see. And
You just throw it as fast as you
I
can.
had games where I struck out 15, 16, 17 players.
So
I had one game against Diamond Hill and it was humid. Oh my God, it was hot. And this was like at four, we played like at 4 o'clock in the evening. And we were at Diamond Hill. And I remember this like it was yesterday. The first batter that came up, and the year before, Diamond Hill, I was doing this as a senior. Because my junior year, I don't think I got to play a whole lot because I hurt my rotator cuff. But my sophomore year, Diamond Hill beat the crap out of me as a sophomore. I mean, everything I threw, they hit. So
dang, you got
I, rem-
humbled.
oh God, I got killed. But it's like, okay, I want revenge. So the first batter that comes up is a left-handed hitter. First pitch, he bounces one off the fence for a triple. Okay, and I'm like, I walk around the mound for a few times, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have anything to lose. Let's just see if they can see what I'm throwing. Okay. I struck out 15 and in 7 innings. I struck out 15. I struck out the next 15 batters. I walked a few. The my team backing me, my teammates, ground balls, fly balls, and stuff like that. But I struck out 15 of them, and I just told myself, okay, let's just see if they can see what I'm throwing. And I was probably hitting around 90 miles an hour.
That's awesome. So
And I'm
you
just
basically threw a fastball every time.
nope. Oh,
No,
I had a curveball would break 3 feet.
really.
Hmm.
At
Oh, I had
85
junk.
miles an hour?
I had junk. No, the curveball wasn't 85 miles an hour. The
That's what I'm
curveball was
saying.
probably at 70.
Okay.
Okay, but I had a very smart catcher, Andy Barnett. He was my catcher, and he was very smart. And we played the batters. We played the batters. He was very smart, and I had a fantastic coach. Mike Harden was, oh my God, he should have been coaching in the major leagues. He was a fantastic man, and he passed away. But oh my God, he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot. He goes, just use your best pitches and just remember what you told me, Mark. He goes, they can't hit what they can't see.
That's true. I
Yeah.
like that.
So and I enjoyed playing baseball, and then after that I'll probably anyway, we're not going to go into that. That's about all I'm going to say about that. So,
Well, cool.
but
I'm
I
glad we
did.
got to hear about your baseball
I played a
experiences.
lot of base. I played a lot of baseball. Your
Hmm.
brother would have been excellent at baseball, but he gave it up. So,
I
but
was terrible at
anyway,
it.
nah, you would have been good at it if I would have taught you baseball. You
No,
would have
dude,
been
I
good
was
at it.
terrible at it. Uh-uh.
Yeah, you know you weren't.
I tried. I tried, and you were an amazing cheerleader, but I was really bad at it. I was good at basketball and
Yeah, you
gymnastics
were. Yeah, you
and
were.
dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were. You were very good at everything you did because you had the athletic ability in you. So
Yeah.
you were good. You were good at everything you did. So with all that being said, I don't want to talk about myself. I don't want to do that. So
It's your podcast.
yeah, but I don't want to talk about myself. I do have my favorite hat on, the squeeze.
Yeah, the squeeze.
Yeah.
Did
So thank you, Keith.
um
Thank you, Keith Flat. I love you, man. Hope you're doing well.
so okay, we have our trivia questions, went on some rants, and then we can come back to so it is political, but we started talking about it, which is why some of the news outlets didn't air Donald Trump's speech.
Yep.
And that was in reference to us talking about going to other news outlets and not just trusting one outlet, because the outlets who don't air those live speeches and then they just give you the notes afterwards,
Hmm.
that is
Is
them
communism.
deciding what it means. That
That's
is them
yeah,
telling you what it means. That's propaganda.
yeah, propaganda and
And
communism is what that is.
so listen to him. That's fine. You can, and you can have that opinion. But then I really encourage you to also look up his speech on YouTube. Listen to his entire speech. Listen to the words. Put aside the fact that you don't like Donald Trump. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't. And if I ever met him, I would respect him because he's our president. That doesn't mean I have to like him as a person, but I'm not going to just sit there and tell him how much I hate him because why would you do that? Like, who cares? Listen to the words and research what he's talking about. Because if you're only listening to one outlet, you're not getting the full story. That's all
You
I
go
have to say about that.
go to whitehouse.gov and it pulls up all the evidence he's got
Yes, he
um,
is being very transparent.
proven.
And
Yeah, he is. He's been very transparent, and he has proven that China interferes in our elections. He's proved it. He's got the evidence. I pulled up whitehouse.gov this morning, and it's got every one of the forms that the FBI, the CIA has proven that China has interfered in our elections. He's got it all. And I guarantee you, he would have not went on national television if it wasn't true.
I agree. And he believes all of the things he says, and there's got to be things that he knows that we don't know. And so
Exactly.
when these things are exposed, again, even if you don't like him, you still need to go look at the files because that's still our government system at work. That's still
Hmm.
justice happening, and we need to make sure that it's happening correctly.
And the
So I will go to there, and I will probably put some stuff up here somewhere
and
in reference
and
to it.
and the reason why the communrats don't like it because they've been caught. They've been caught cheating.
Yeah.
They've been caught. They would much rather protect a criminal, murderer, rapist, illegal than they would an American citizen.
And they'll say what
They
they need to say to convince people that they're the victim.
Yeah, they do not care for the American people. I mean, and for instance, when he was giving his State of the Union speech,
Mhm.
when he said, "Stand up," if you would the first thing a government should do is protect the American people over illegal immigrants. How many Democrats stood up? Not a one. Not a
Yeah, I do
one.
remember that.
Not a
I
one.
do remember that.
So
So if you said whitehouse.gov, and it's
WhiteHouse.gov.
interesting, as soon as I went there, uh, a screen popped up that said that these documents are available for you to look at. Would you like to view them? So I clicked view. And for people who don't know, um, it just says that it ensures ensuring the integrity of our elections. So you can look at vulnerabilities and electronic voting, China's acquisition and exploitation of American voter data, Michigan voter registration investigation, non-citizens on state voter rolls. And those are important to read um, because people who are not citizens here should not be voting.
No.
They should not have that opinion. And I firmly believe that you need to have your ID. And if that means that I have to go in person to vote, and I have to do it in a more secure way to prove who I am, there's channels to do that. If you're disabled, there are channels. I've been getting emails and text messages from our government because you can sign up for those. And I have ways that I can vote, do the mail in ballot and vote that way, but you have to register for it and you have to be ready for it. You can't just like go do it on the day of. You
And
have to
it's not hard to do.
register. No, it's not. You can mail in your voter
And
registration. I get it every year.
they put out
So easy.
on all the news outlets that, okay, you only have 1 week to register to vote. They have a deadline to
Right.
register to vote.
I
They
get
tell
text
you.
messages that tell me all the
Yeah, they
time.
tell you. They tell you.
Exactly.
I do too. I get them all the time.
And they tell you how to do it. So the only issue people are having is that they have to show an ID. And they try to say, well, you don't know how hard it is. And I'm like, well, then how are you getting other things? How are you getting a job? How are you buying uh, a house? How are you renting? How are you
Hmm.
getting anything requires an ID in America if you are going to set it up. So if you're not doing that, one, you're probably doing it illegally. Um, and if you're upset that you need your ID, maybe you shouldn't be voting because maybe that means you're not a
Exactly.
citizen.
And then some of the memes say, well, what would you think about ICE being at all voting locations? Well, I'm fine with it.
Please,
I'm fine with it
I
because
am too.
what do you have to hide? What are you
Just show
hiding?
them your ID and tell them your name. It's
Yeah,
not a big deal,
what are you hiding?
right?
Yeah,
Literally,
what are you
you're
hiding?
just there to vote. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. What are the Democrats hiding because they don't want voter ID? Let me tell you what they're hiding. They're hiding all the illegals.
Hmm.
That's what they're hiding. That's why in 4 years they had like 20 million illegals into this country because they wanted to change their voter base, and that's why they did that. That's the exact reason. It was on purpose to get as many illegals in this country as possible. And
Um, I think also like on that note, because you said voter fraud and them looking into that. California had that issue too, didn't they?
yes, oh God, yes. And
Yeah.
let's not get into that because I hate
Okay.
Gavin Newsom. Let's not get into that.
Okay.
That's Spencer Pratt is he's a I guess he's an independent that should have won the primary, and he was leading big time until overnight, all of a sudden, oh God, how many votes? Thousands and thousands of votes
That's a
came
lot.
in, and he didn't get one vote.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No. So and that's all we're going to say about that. California's
Okay.
got their day. California's they're going to get caught. They're karma's coming.
Hmm.
Karma's coming. Just like Minnesota, just like New York. Karma's coming. It's coming. It's going to hit them, and it's going to hit them in the ass. So
But
just
yeah, so
just like I said in my rant the other day, Democrats are nothing more than the dingleberries and the cracks of the ass of this country. That's all they are. So,
they do like to twist things. They don't give you the full story,
no.
and any extremist is that way, to be sure. But there is something going on with the Democrat Party, and it's been since the conception uh, in the 1700s. So the Democrats have never been a party for freedom or peace. They had slaves. They were forced slaves. They're extremely racist, actually, in history. If you look back at the Democratic Party,
They
um,
they formed the KKK.
right.
They started Jim
So,
Crow.
ex-
Okay.
so basically, people need to look more into. They think they're being liberal, they're misusing that word. They're not being liberal. And they need to go look at more what like libertarian and conservative views. Somehow they think that conservatives and libertarians want control when all we want is freedom. It's the complete opposite. We just want everyone to live peacefully
Less
with each
government.
other. And I don't understand why we have to keep bringing up a race or anything of that nature, because they always seem to pull that card. Um, yeah,
That's the
I'll
only defense they have. Everything's racist. Everything. You go
or
take a you go
transphobic
yeah,
or
yeah, you go take a shit. It's racist. So
mhm,
ask a Democrat. Why
yeah,
doesn't your
there
sh-
is
why doesn't your shit come out white? Oh my God, it comes out black. You're a racist. Damn.
yeah,
That's it just
it
baffles
does, yeah.
me, and I get my stomach in knots when I hear these people talk because they're so stupid. They're just dumb. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. They're just dumb.
I agree. I don't understand why it's so difficult for us to just be ourselves and leave each other alone and be at peace.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Leave us alone. Leave
like
us
that's it.
alone. We don't
Be
need to
whoever
serve
you want to
labor.
be.
Yeah.
and just be nice.
Yeah. We
That's
don't
it.
we don't we don't need you watching over us. We don't need you
Mm-mm.
at all.
Nope.
We need you to protect this country is what we need you for. That's it. We don't need you for anything else. Just protect the country and shut the fuck up. That's all you need to do. That's their number one priority. Their number one priority in the government is to protect the American
Yep.
citizens.
That's what
Period.
they're supposed to do.
Number
Exactly.
one.
I agree.
That should be the only one.
Exactly. And we've said in other previous podcasts that somehow liberals and Democrats who are associating themselves with the Democratic Socialist Party, they somehow think that they're going to get all of that freedom when that's the socialist government will not protect you. It
No.
won't. I'm so sorry, but they're selfish. Like you think billionaires are bad, but socialist governments are the billionaires. Like, so let's say, for example, you have socialism country over here, and the government has billions of dollars that they control for the people, right? But then the people are only getting little drops here and there, right? Like they blame the billionaires for. Well, the socialist government is doing exactly what people are blaming the billionaires for. But in my point of view, the billionaires, the capitalists are providing more jobs, which provides more freedom, which boosts economy and creativity and independence. And then you don't have a government that's in control of you, but you have to be okay with other people having independence too. You have to be okay with not controlling other people.
Very
That's
well
all
put.
socialism is control.
Yes, very well put. Very well put. What was the other item on the agenda? Well, let's just get away. We can get away from
Yeah.
politics if you want to.
Um, the next thing on, well, I mean, this always turns political. But we had trivia. Um, there's AI data centers.
Let's, yeah, let's,
We could talk about that. I had a
I
fun
don't,
discussion with my friends on
yeah,
Discord about that because uh, on our podcast, I do use AI art. Um, and there are pros and cons. The cons is that an artist isn't getting to draw this for me. But guess what? I can't afford for an artist to draw this for me anyways. So, besides that being the point, when it comes to AI art, you're doing more coding and creative writing than you are anything else. And so when I create these backgrounds and the images that we put in here for our characters, I'm having to write a paragraph to 3 paragraphs describing what I want on all of this. And this comes out way more accurate than any artist I have ever tried to describe what I want to. And as I don't, that feels mean because I want real people and real artists to have those opportunities. And that's one of the cons. I think AI is taking some of those uh, opportunities away from artists,
yeah,
and it sucks, and it
yeah,
does.
yeah.
But it is helpful for artists like me who express themselves with writing and maybe coding. I'm not a very like visually artistic person, um, but I am a very creative person when it comes to writing. And so I am actually very proud of all of this that I've made because yeah, you can go into AI and you can say, make me a banner that says Papa B and Aplejax, put a dragon on it. It's not going to come out like this. I had to describe where I wanted these flags. I had to describe what I wanted on Papa B's head. I had to describe that I wanted this apple pie and how I wanted it placed above the word and. I had to describe how many fingers we have. I had to describe the little bow and the physics that went along with how it fits. In addition to the things over here, the cowboy hat and the emblems, the blue bonnets, I had to describe all of that. And then even having the banner behind that says daddy daughter. I had to describe the details that I wanted for this to happen. Otherwise, it just comes out as like a bejumbled mess, because I'm sure you've seen AI art out there that doesn't look so good. And you can tell from a lot of my AI art too, like I'll get impatient and I'll just use it anyways instead of correcting it. And you can tell it's AI art. Um, so I feel for the artists. I do. And for me though, it's really helping my creative side express myself and do what I need to do to have fun with my hobbies. But the cons being that there are a lot of centers that they're having to build. It's using a lot of resources, a lot of the water, a lot of the electricity. It's taking a lot of the land, and those aren't good things. They're not. Um, but who am I to control that? And what am I going to do? I think at this point that that's where society is moving. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with it. I'm going to roll with society and I'm going to go along with it. And I'm going to try to do what I can to protect my freedom and the freedom of my country and the freedom of my family um, over anything else while I'm on this planet, because I don't think there's anything I can do to stop AI from happening.
I know
That's my
there's a
take on
lot
it.
of
I want to hear
there's
yours.
no, it was very good. That was a very good take on it. The con side is, I think, is surveillance of the American people is what I think it is. They say
Yeah,
it's
it could be.
just to
I
read.
completely
They
agree. It
say
could be.
these
Yeah.
flock cameras are to read license plates and stuff like that. That's bullshit. I mean, they can as soon as they read your license plates, if you have a ding on your bumper, or if you have a crack in the windshield, it goes straight to the police department. It's automatically uh,
So you think they're like targeting specific cars based on features on the
they're
cars?
targeting everybody that drives one of those by one of those
And that
flock
would be the
cameras.
use of AI. That is a con of AI,
Yeah,
exactly.
it is. That's a con of AI, and and like I said, I don't think these data centers are data centers. I think they're going to be surveillance because, they're watching us anyway. Whether it's you're watching TV, whether it's on this computer, whether it's on
Exactly.
your
If you have
phone,
a smartphone, whether you like it or not, oh, you can't even see my
yeah,
smartphone.
yeah, they're watching you, and that's fine, that's enough. But you don't have to put the cameras out on the streets to tell the people, hey, we're watching you.
Yeah,
That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And to me, and it's going to happen. They're going to be all over the place, and they're going to end up building all these data centers. They're going to build them.
exactly.
They're
Whether we want
they're
them to or
going to,
not.
whether we want them to or not. They're going to build them.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people who are knocking them down, go for it. I'm behind you.
Yeah,
I think you're American
exactly.
patriots for knocking them down. I'm not going to go knock them down. Okay,
Yep.
but I'm not. I don't want if for anybody that gets caught knocking them down, I don't want them punished. I think you should give
Yeah, but
them
at
give
the
them
same time,
give
it would
them a
make sense
bonus.
because it is technical destruction of public property.
Okay,
So
where's
I'm not,
public property? Well, no. We're going to discuss this. Where does public property get its money?
well, from the people, exactly.
Boom.
Um, but is it
Mhm.
also not technically a crime? Isn't it a crime to have destruction of public property? Like
It
that's
is.
just a right.
It
So
is. But it
I think it's important. No, it's two sides to the coin. I think that you can be proud of the people who are doing it. I think that's awesome, because if we didn't have those types of people, we wouldn't have real change. But you also have to be okay with, like, hey, you got your point across, but the consequence of you making sure you got your point across is that, hey, yeah, you went to jail for destruction of public property, but like, don't stop talking about what you believe in. Like,
yeah
get that point across. So I think that you can respect both. You can respect the law that he has to go to jail for it, and you can respect the fact that, hell yeah, you knock that down, because that is our Fourth Amendment right, is unreasonable search and seizures. There's no reason for them to have those cameras. And a
no
lot of cities have outlawed cameras on lights on stoplights because it is an invasion of privacy. That's why we have cops. If
Yeah,
you want to pull someone over for speeding, have a cop posted up. That's why the cops are there. We don't need you to be catching us on video. Like it's wrong.
it
I
is
agree.
very good perspective of that, Applejack. I just gave the redneck version is what I gave. I don't want them
I think you
watching
give me
me,
too
but
much
they're
credit.
going to. They're going to watch me, and they're going to watch everybody. And
They are.
it's just a matter of a time before everything's built, and it's going to come to a head. I know that we've talked about it. When is the Civil War or the Revolution going to happen? Because it's going to happen.
It is.
I think it's going to happen probably by the uh, next presidential election. I think it's going to happen.
Interesting. See, I think it depends on the results of the election, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But I can say this for sure: whoever gets elected, if it's on our side, and they may be sharp, because I love J.D. Vance and I love Marco Rubio. Okay, don't get me wrong, but they're not Donald Trump. I'm sorry, Donald Trump is one. He's got his shit together. He knows how to get under the Democrats' craw. He knows
Yeah, he does.
he is stringing them along. I mean, it's like a puppet show. It's like a puppet show. And it's so much fun to watch because he knows what their next move. He knows exactly what their next move is because he creates their next move. He's just that smart. He creates
He
their
is a
next
very smart
move.
person.
Yeah,
And whether you want to admit that he's a smart person or not, it's a lot of people like try to say he's dumb. I think he speaks so that the people understand what he is talking about.
yeah,
That's it.
he does.
And that's how any
He,
presenter is going to talk.
he puts it
That
all in
doesn't
layman's terms. He puts it all in
exactly.
layman's terms. One thing I am disappointed about Donald Trump in though, I and I know that you disagree. You're going to disagree on this, but that's okay. I think he should have went in to Iran and got everything done in 1 week.
Do
Everything
you
that we're
think he
doing
could
now.
have gotten it done in one
Oh,
week?
oh God, they could have got it done in 2 days.
You think so?
Oh God, yes. We have the
Hmm.
greatest military on the face of the earth. He
Yeah.
could have got it done in 2 days, and I'm disappointed that he didn't go in and do that. Now he's having to dicker with people who say, "Yeah, we're going to do this," but then again, they're going to start shooting rockets at ships going across the Strait of
Yeah.
Hormuz.
And I think so since this will post like next week, but uh we bombed the Islamic regime, and there are a lot of reels coming out from Iran, a lot of videos showing the people protesting and taking over and begging Trump not to stop because they are taking their country back. They
Yes.
changed their flag back to their Persian original emblem, and they want us to keep helping. So I know that Iran, I don't know the exact date, it may be on the 18th, somewhat 18th, 19th, maybe the 17th. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. But Iran bombed all of our US bases in Iran.
Well, they just
Oh.
killed. It was yesterday, I believe. They killed 2 American citizens.
Um,
I saw something this morning on
yeah,
that, but
Iran
briefly.
hit 3 bases hosting US assets in the latest strike. So yes, that this says July 16th. So yeah, that upset Trump a lot, and it should upset the American people.
Hmm.
Um, because now we're sending some pretty heavy stuff over there
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh, they're tearing him a new ass, and he should. And I'm just disappointed that it's not already done what he's doing now. They shouldn't even had a road to walk on. Every road, every bridge should have been
Yeah.
taken out.
They need to
It
stop
should,
trying to take over countries. They need to stop.
yeah,
They like
and Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. And
and that's fine.
for the last 47 years, every president They get up there. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. We will stop them. Well, they do. Obama sends them billions of dollars on pallets. What's Biden
Yeah.
do? He takes all the sanctions off,
Mhm.
and they're sitting up there telling us that we're against Iran having a nuclear weapon when you're enforcing their capability to have a nuclear weapon.
Yep. That's why it's important to go look at those other news outlets because you can listen to their words, but you need to go look at their
Exactly.
actions too.
So Donald Trump is like, you know what? They're not going to have one. And he's damn sure made
Exactly.
sure of that. He made sure of it. So, like I said, the
Yep.
only thing I'm disappointed in, he should have done that in 1 week.
So yeah, you think it should have been faster instead of
Yeah.
this drawn out. I think he was just trying to give them a chance to like have
You,
peace.
you
Like
can't
he wanted them to make
negotiate.
the right decision.
I know, but you can't negotiate with Islamic terrorism, with terrorists. You
That is
can't do
very
it.
true.
You
Yep,
can't do it. So,
that is very true. Unfortunately,
anyway, I'm Papa B.
I'm Applejax.
Come see us, come listen to us, give us what you think, answer our trivia questions.
Yeah,
Call us names. I don't care.
please.
You're on a
I mean,
long
like, yeah,
list. You're on a long list of people that call me names. I don't care. I've
yeah.
been
We want to
called a lot.
interact. We want you to interact with us.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
And it is. And send your questions. We're on
Mhm.
YouTube. Are
Yep.
we on TikTok and Instagram yet? Or
Yeah. So if you look up at AUDHD things, AUDHD, AUDHD things. That's on TikTok. That's the project that's hosting this podcast. And if you go to Instagram, you can find Papa B. I don't know. Make sure your username says Papa B so people know who you are. We're gonna have a
oh, I
lesson on
do.
social media. Okay, yeah. So you can find us there. I'm gonna get us on Spotify too. That's in the works. Am I forgetting anything? So
Hmm.
yeah, anything at Sandalia or at ADHD things is where you're going to find us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the project and the production that is doing this. So yeah,
And
check
just
us out.
remember, she's my technical guru. I'm just a redneck to give you my redneck, uh, uh, m- let you know what I think and my redneck perspective, and she gives you the educated perspective.
Oh, the only
And
reason I'm educated is because you pushed me to be educated and to educate myself. So I have you to thank for that.
mm, so I appreciate that. With that being said, come listen to us, tell us what you think, and Papa B says, peace out.
We'll see you next week.